Hello and welcome to Chocolate Covered Games. This is our monthly melt for April of 2023. And to start, Tim got to choose our 5 segment.
Yep, every month we do a list of 5 things.
So what'd you pick for this month?
This month was board game related, and it was our top 5 favorite tile placement games.
Okay.
For those who don't know, tile placement games are games where you have tiles and or some card ones you claim that you essentially make the board up as you go or manipulate the field by placing tiles down.
Yeah, so just sitting here, I redid my order because I know that my number 1, you already told me you don't consider a tile placement game.
Well, because it was the cards.
It's cards.
I mean, BGG says it's tile placement.
Yeah.
I guess in the realm of the mechanics of it, it is.
Yeah.
But I would call it card placement.
Well,
but I guess there's not enough of those to be their own category kind of thing.
So I will say that because I rearranged, my number 5 went off. So I guess I start anyways.
Yep, because it was my thing. So
all right. So this became my number 6. I'll just start out there because this is me.
Yep.
Was Gunky Mono. But that got knocked off my list because I was like, you know what? I'm just moving this to number 1.
Okay.
I'm moving a 1 into number 1 that you didn't think, but.
So wait, now Gunky Mono is your 1?
No.
Okay, it's your 6.
It's my 6.
Okay.
No, I moved a different one into number 1, which bumped Gunky Mono from 5 to 6.
Okay.
So my number 5. I'm guessing maybe on your list later, or who knows when, but I'm pretty sure it's probably on your list, and that's King Domino.
It is not.
Really?
It was close. I really enjoyed King Domino, but you know, it'd probably be in my top 10. Yeah.
King Domino is very simple, where you're taking the domino-looking tiles. And then you place it and try to get different size lands of like fields and
woods,
mines.
Yep.
So you're building your little kingdom with these domino shaped tiles.
So you prefer this over Queen Domino?
Yes, I like the simpler version.
And neither of us have tried the one that everybody claims is his best, which is Origins.
Yeah.
Which I really want to try just for the fact that everybody says it's the best version of the game.
Yeah. But no, I like the simple King Domino version of it. Even at 2 players, I thought it worked well. That's how we first played it. So again, simple. It's one of those gateway games, and it's gateway filler type.
Yeah, it's about 10 to 15 minutes at most.
So it fits the type of gaming that I like. So my number 5 is King Domino.
My number 5, which I'm almost guaranteed not on your list, which I think should be on your list because you had a blast playing this game. And the game is Zombies.
That's a tile placement game?
Yep. Remember, you place the tile because you don't know where the choppers come in. You place the tiles down and then you put your zombies on there.
I didn't even think that was a tile placement game.
Yeah, that's a tile placement game. Because you didn't know where you were going. You get the things, you put it down and tell you how many to add because you were...
I loved the game. It was a blast.
Yeah. It's a fun game. And there's, I think, 12 standalones, 14
I don't know.
There's a ton of zombies. The one we played was Director's Cut.
Yeah, it was a blast.
Yep, it's a fun game. It's a game I wouldn't expect to be on my list because we're not into, like, horror games. But it's not, like...
I didn't think of it that way, though.
Yeah. I mean, it's supposed to be, like, you're overrun by zombies because every time you place down a tile, it would be, like, 6, and you put, like, 6 zombies down, and then you put the next... be, like, 8.
Yeah, I just had a blast with it.
I mean, it's a fun game.
So now thinking about this, I do think I know one that probably made your list that I absolutely just did not like at all. But you really did.
Yeah, it's probably my next one, too.
So my number 4. They do list this as tile placement, which it is, but then you manipulate the tiles after you place them.
Okay.
So this is Jarl It's actually a Viking tile laying game.
Yeah,
it's in the title.
Well, it's tile laying, not placement, but laying is placement.
Yeah.
I saw that too. I'm like,
So Jarl is the sequel to the Duke.
Yeah, standalone.
It's a standalone sequel. Yeah, it's not an expansion. It's a sequel.
Yeah.
Where you pull the tiles out of the bag, and on each tile, it tells you how that tile can move then. And after you move that tile, you flip it over. So it's sort of like chess-ish.
Yeah, because
It's in that...
each character has their own special move.
Yeah.
Like chess.
So, and it's very much like Onitama. In that respect, where the characters do the different moves. But in the Duke, where they just slide, and Jarl, they can jump, they can hit your opponent from a distance with archers. It's one of the first games we played.
Right after the Duke.
The Duke was the first game we played the first time we went to the cafe that we used to go to.
The game table cafe.
Yep. The first 3 games we played were the Duke, Jarl, and Birds of a Feather.
Yep.
Birds of a Feather is still my top 3 games of all time.
Not a tile placement game, though.
No. But Jarl, a Viking tile laying game, is my number 4.
Yep. We've played that with one expansion. We played it with the Mountain.
Yes.
That really destroyed you because
I got stuck.
You got a character that couldn't move out from behind it.
Yes, I got stuck.
I'm like, well, I can just take all my time to beat you.
Yeah, you just trapped me there and I couldn't do anything.
Yep. So that was your number 4,
yes.
Jarl. My number 4, you think you know? Because you said it might be something you didn't like and I did?
Yeah.
Would you like to take a guess?
The Night Cage?
The Night Cage.
I did not like that game at all.
I've played this game 5 different times. And every time I played it, I was the only one that liked it. People don't...
You didn't like it the first time we played it.
With me?
Yeah.
I thought it was a little...
Because we only got like 8 tiles out, we died.
Yeah.
And it was just...
But then, after that, I figured it out. Like, because I didn't think... a smart mechanic is just diving off an edge. Because, if you're in a corner... Just fall into the abyss. You'll come in the corner. You can start anew.
Yeah,
But
I just did not like the game.
Yeah, every time I played it with groups of people, everybody's like, this is terrible. I'm like, no, this is great. It's slightly spooky-ish. I wish we would have played with the one creature that takes up half the board. I never got to do that.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is a fun, eerie placement game because every time you take a tile, you're making time run out. Because your tiles are your timers as well. But never beat it. Every time I played it, never beat it.
Yeah, you and I beat it.
Did we beat it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So then I'm 1 for 4 because all the other times with people I didn't beat it.
Yeah, we beat it.
But yeah, that's my number 4, The Night Cage.
Yeah, I was not a fan. So my number 3, I'm guessing, is on your list. And that is the game we have taught the most.
No.
Really?
It's not on my list.
We have taught this game more than any other game, and that is Karuba.
Yep, it's not on my list.
Wow, I'm surprised.
It's a fun game, but...
It's a bingo-esque game where you have one person pick the tile, they call out the number, and then everybody else finds that tile, and then you place it. So you're trying to get your explorers to temples by building pathways with these tiles. And it's on you to find and figure out the best route with the tiles as they're called. Yeah, we've played this game a ton, especially when it first came out, and then we taught it a ton.
Yep.
And every time I've played it, I've really enjoyed it. Again, it fits that niche for me.
I will say Karuba is better than the sequel, which was...
The Karuba card game?
Yeah.
That was awful.
They try to make the IP something more, but
yeah,
they got it right the first time.
Yep. Karuba is a great game. Easy to teach. Great gateway game into the hobby. Even for those that don't like gaming, it's a good one to get them into.
Right.
So that was my number 3.
My number 3 is probably on your list, and it is Sorcerer City.
So that is my 7.
Okay. 7 out of 25.
7 out of 7.
Yeah.
Because that's as far as I went.
All right. Sorcerer City is a fantastic game where you play as a magical wizard city planner. Where every round, like, you don't just place once. You destroy the cities after each round, and you rebuild.
Yeah.
And then, monsters will come out. You have to place certain things next to things. And I think you only have, like, a minute or 2 minutes. It's very frantic.
Yeah.
Because you have a stack of tiles. You're like, I got to figure out where these things can go. And
and each round you end up with, you have more tiles that you have to place. So
you get more tiles and you get the same amount of time.
Yeah.
And there's certain monsters that make it difficult. Like, you can't have any yellows touching any blues this time.
Yeah.
You're like, I have so many yellows.
Yep.
Sorcerer City, great production value. Very fun tile laying game. Box is huge. It's heavy.
Yeah.
If I was to weight it on the scale of what people say weights of games are, I would classify this as heavy because I base my weights on the box.
The box weight, not the actual gameplay.
If I had a box of checkers that was made out of marbles and like lead, I'm like, man, this is a 70-pound box. This is a heavy game. But that's my number 3.
Yeah.
Sorcerer City.
It's a fun game.
It is.
Now my number 2, I believe, has a chance to be on your list
Okay.
as your 2 or 1.
Okay.
And that is Habitats.
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Wow, I am really surprised about that.
I like Habitats, but it did not make my list.
Man.
I should have put Planets on there. I just realized Planets is a tile laying game. It's a 3-dimensional tile laying game.
Yeah, I guess it is.
I never thought of that.
But Habitats, you're moving the animals around to collect the different tiles from the tile grid, and then you're collecting those tiles and building your wildlife park.
Yep.
And again, that's the simplest way to describe it. Again, you're trying to piece together the different forms of the habitats together to make the large habitats. The new version apparently is incredible production.
I haven't seen the new version. The version we have is pretty good.
We don't have the original.
We have the second one.
We have the second version because the original came with porcelain
Pieces.
Which
I would be terrified.
But yeah, the production of this game has always been great. The artwork on the tiles is great. Again, it's just you're moving those animals around to collect the habitat tiles and build the largest habitats. Fun game.
See, I thought your number 2 would have been Barren Park.
No, surprisingly, and spoiler, none of those tiling games are on here.
The Uben... No, it's not.
UA Rosenberg.
Yeah.
Barren Park, Indian Summer, Cottage Garden, even the button one.
Oh, Patchwork.
Yes.
Yes. I knew what it was called because it's in my book. Yeah.
So that was my number 2, so...
my number 2 was a toss-up.
Okay.
It came down to 1 or 2 games. It was either going to be what my number 2 is.
Yes. Or what your number 1 is?
No.
Oh, so the number 2 are not on your list?
Yeah.
That's weird.
It was either going to be number 2 or replaced by this game.
Okay.
Because that's how my list rolls.
It didn't become your number 3 game.
No, it'd just be off my list. It was either going to be Carcassonne, which I don't like.
Okay.
I can't tell you how much I don't like the game Carcassonne.
Okay.
But it might have made my number 2 because I can relate to it with good memories.
Yeah.
Because when I was in the hospital, instead of family, parents and whatnot visiting me, I had...
Well, because our parents were 4 hours away.
Excuses.
And you did have family visit you. I visited.
Well, I meant family that
An extended family visited you.
I did not know who they were. They were complete strangers.
They were family.
That's made them strangers to me. But I had the owners of the game shop show up. I had Tom.
Yeah.
He came with the travel-sized Carcassonne to play one day. And I'm like, okay, because I didn't want to tell Tom I don't like the game, so I played it on the little this big game little table back there. Then the next day, Tom's wife came, and she brought Carcassonne Travel again, and I played it.
Yeah.
And the next day, their son came with Travel Carcassonne, so I played that game 3 days in a row. I'm like, it's a nice little memory.
So as much as you're talking about it, it's still not your number 2.
No, because I had to separate that from I don't like the game.
Okay.
But
so what is your number 2?
My number 2, I kind of like the game, but I got bumped in the number 2 for the emotions I put with it, and that's Patchwork.
Okay.
Because I would go to the game table early Thursdays because that's when we had Pathfinder.
Yeah.
So I would be there for about an hour or so before we would start, and Tom's wife, Laura, I kept trying to think of her name. Laura would be working, so it would just be me and her. So Laura really liked the game Patchwork, so I ended up playing Patchwork like 80 times in my life because I would play and then we would talk about random things. So I'm like, as much as this game's not my great tile laying game,
yeah, I
have such good memories of playing it with somebody. So that's why I bumped all the way up to my number 2, Patchwork.
Okay. It's weird that's how those two are either on your list or off your list.
Well, because I'm like, how high do I put, a feeling of a game while I played it?
Well, that's part of what makes it in your top 5.
Because
is the feeling.
Yeah, because I'd rather play my 3, 4, or 5 more than my 2, but I have stronger connection with 2.
Yeah.
But I couldn't bump it to 1. Just.
So my number 1 is the game that you'll probably argue the most with me on.
Okay. I can probably figure it out.
Because it is not tiles.
It's cards.
It's cards.
So it's probably Sprawlopolis.
Yep, it is Sprawlopolis.
And not one of their 18 add-ons.
No, just Sprawlopolis. Boy, do I love button shy games.
They are a great company.
They just fit me in the length, in the style, and Sprawlopolis just hits the home run of that city building with the different scoring on the back of each card, having to maybe have the longest road or the largest building area or whatever scores different points. And I can play that over and over and over. Mm-hmm. I did think about Unsurmountable, but that's not tile laying or card laying. That's more of a route building because you can only lay the cards in the mountain shape.
Now, would you consider
Circle the Wagons fits in?
I was thinking the one with the graves.
Skulls of Sedlick?
Yeah,
no. I would if I would put that because again, with that one, you can only lay them a certain. You can only build that pyramid.
Yeah.
And that's the same with Unsurmountable, is you can only build it in a pyramid.
Yeah.
So it isn't really what I consider the true sense of
placement,
tile placement, mm-hmm. or card placement. Because like Carcassonne, you don't have to build in a certain.
No, it can go anywhere.
Yeah, or even in Patchwork, granted it has to stay in that board, mm-hmm. but it isn't. You have to do this row first, or do 2 and then 1. Mm-hmm. And that's why Sprawlopolis takes it over those 2. Mm-hmm. If it would just be without that, Skulls of Sedlick would probably be number 1. I absolutely love the game. But because of the tile laying aspect and tile placement aspect, Sprawlopolis is my number 1.
All right. My number 1 is a game we own. It's a game we've played about 3 times or so.
Okay.
I'm still waiting for the big box to come out. Well, to us.
Yeah. And
that is Tang Gardens.
Okay. I think I've only played that once.
No, we played it more than once.
I only played it once, I think.
Because we played it once here. We played it once at the church with Josh.
Okay.
It's a very beautiful game.
Yeah.
Where you are a Chinese emperor's gardener, where your whole job is to make sure wherever guests look, they see wonderful, amazing things like ponds with fishes, or they're not called gazebos, whatever the fancier word for gazebo is.
Yeah.
And mountain ranges and dragons and waterfalls. It's just a very well production of a tile laying game, because you have 4 different tiles you can choose from. You can get like water, you can get rock, you can get land, you can get specialties.
Yeah.
And it's really how you want to score and which guests you want to bring in.
Yeah.
It's a very fun game. I'd say check it out. It's fairly popular. I think that was the highest rating tile laying game I had on my list. Well, no, I think Patchwork was higher than it.
Probably.
But yeah, it was up there for BGG. So those were my top 5 tile placements.
What are your favorite tile placement games? Let us know in the comments. If you have any thoughts on categories for fives, game related, non-game related, leave that down in the comments. Hit the thumbs up.
Share the video.
Yep, share.
Subscribe.
Yeah. So with that, thanks for watching.
As always, stay sweet.